Welcome to Stratomatic Monday Night Baseball. As we'll deviate from the Oakland A's schedule, and tonight it will be the Cleveland Indians taking on the Baltimore Orioles in a Monday Night Baseball premiere. Hello, everybody, and welcome to that we do have so far for today's game. And here we go. Give me a second to pull them up. Let's see. So we're going to go this. Let me pull up my graphic here so we can go ahead and go over this. So tonight's game, the Cleveland Indians coming at 24-14, May 26, 1980. So Cleveland's playing great baseball, taking on the Orioles, who are 25-16. They were a really good team in 80, along with the Brewers and Yankees. The Cleveland Indians are in third place in the East. The Orioles are in fourth place in the East. The Indians are 16-7 on the road. So they're playing well over their heads. They're 4-3 versus left-handed pitching. The Orioles are 11-7 at home, and they're 14-9 versus right-handed pitching. On the mound is Len Barker. He's making his 10th start. He's 5-3. ERA 3.88 on the mound for the Orioles. Scott McCreggor, he's making his 8th start. He's 2-3, ERA of 3.71. This is the first of a 3-game series. It'll be tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Dan Spillner against Steve Stone in Tuesday's matchup, and Rick Waits and Jim Palmer in the Wednesday matchup. We're playing Super Advanced. Let's go over ballpark information. We'll let the computer do the rolling today in these games. Left-handed hitters on a single 1-9, right-handed hitters for singles 1-3, left-handed hitters home runs 1-8, right-handed hitting home runs 1-17, and those are going to be your diamond shots home runs. Let's go ahead and go over who's been hot, who's been not in this series. For the Baltimore Orioles, Dan Graham, the catcher for the Orioles, is hitting .412 in his last 10 games. Ken Singleton hitting .425 with 2 home runs. Dan Graham's hit 6 home runs so far in the last 10 games, so he's been red hot. Joe Charbonneau, the American League's Rookie of the Year this year, is heating up. He's hitting .360 with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. He's 9 for his last 25. Eddie Murray hitting .405. Mike Hargrove hitting .381. Who's not? Gary Renicky only hitting .208. George Orta hitting .100. Lee May hitting .182. And Rich Dower hitting .216. As both pitchers tonight are in the who's not list, Len Barker in his last start has gone 6 innings, given up 19 hits, 15 earned runs. So he got lit up pretty much in his last start. And then Scott McCreggor has gone 15 innings. So over his last 2 starts, I guess that is, he's given up 17 hits, 8 earned runs. And so far he's 0-1. Looks like Len Barker has lost his last 2 starts. But we'll go ahead and give you more of that information as the time comes. Let's get the first pitch here from Memorial Stadium. So Scott McGregor's on the mound. The Oriole defense will Chicky, Len Sakata, and Eddie Murray. Dan Graham is behind the plate. Scott McGregor's on the mound. He lost his last start on the 22nd of this month with innings, giving up 6 hits, only giving up 2 earned runs, but he still got the loss. He's lost his last 3 after opening up the season. Actually, he lost his last start and then he won his opener. So McGregor has gone 9, 7, 2/3, 7, 8, 6, 6, 6, 8, and 7. So kind of he's been middle of the road about staying in the game. Here's where he's hitting .271. We documented him earlier. So he's been coming down on his average. Lefty on lefty, McGregor and Orta. And the Cleveland lineup today is Orta, Hara, Hargrove. Cliff Johnson's your DH. Charbonneau on left. Alexander is behind the plate. Manning, Rosello, and Verizon. Now this team has gotten a little bit stronger with some of their starters back in the lineup. Again, this has been a good Indian team against a good Oriole team. Should be a good one on Monday Night Baseball. Graham puts down the sign. Scott McCreggor looks in, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. And that's going to be a fly ball, shallow center field. Al Bunbury is there, makes the catch, and we got one away. Here's Toby Harrah hitting .252, 6 homers, 23 runs batted in. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor with the windup, and here's the pitch to Harrah. And that will be a ground ball to short. Krenchicky's got it, throws out to Murray, and there's 2 outs. Here's Mike Hargrove hitting a hefty .375, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor with the windup, lefty-lefty matchup, and that will be a struck him out. McCreggor strikes out Hargrove, and the first inning is over. 3 up, 3 down, go the Indians. Cleveland, nothing, and here come the Baltimore Orioles. So now here's Al Bunbury hitting .301, no home runs, 14 runs batted in. Left-handed hitter. Len Barker on the mound. Charbonneau, Manning, Orton is your outfielders. Harrah, Verizon, Rosello, Hargrove, and Gary Alexander is your DH. And Len Barker, he's 5-3 with a 3.88 ERA. Pretty good year. 65 hits, 63 innings. Only giving up 4 home runs, but his problem could be that he is a +9. So he could be heavily run on in this game. Alexander sets the target. Len Barker looks in. Here's the pitch to Bunbury. And that's a ground ball to second. That's to be a play for Rosello. And no, he's not going to make the play. He's going to get through for a base hit. So Bunbury's on. And that means Baltimore is going to get a chance to run a little bit. We'll see. We'll put them on computer and call this like a broadcast instead of having something to do with this game. So Krenchicky's up. We'll see if Bunbury runs. Alexander puts down the sign. Krenchicky hit his first at bat of the season. Barker from the stretch, and let's see if he runs, and he's safe. So Bunbury gets the second on a stolen base. They give that to him. So Bunbury's on at second with an SB. Here's Krenchicky now. So Alexander puts down the sign. Now Barker from the stretch, and Bunbury was trying to steal third. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a struck him out. Got out, strikes in. Barker with a quick K. And here's Ken Singleton. He's hot. 323, 5 home runs, 28 runs batted, and he's a switch hitter. He'll bat from the left-hand side. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a struck him out again. So Barker with a big K. That's where Singleton wanted it. Where's that in that 3 column? And now here's Eddie Eat, Drink, and B. Murray. 319, 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Again, he's a switch hitter. Singleton and Murray, both are big switch hitters on this team. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker trying to strand Bunbury at second. And here's the pitch to Eddie Murray. And that will think RBI for Eddie Murray. And now here's this guy. He's having an unbelievable year. Dan Graham, 413, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs. He's only been up 46 times. Wow, he's had some starts. So he's had some week here. He'll probably be MLB Player of the Week at this point. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Manning is there, makes the catch, and the first inning is over. Baltimore gets a run on 2 hits. We played 1, Orioles 1, and Cleveland nothing. Top of the second here from Memorial Stadium. Here's Cliff Johnson hitting .226, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch to Cliff Johnson. Walked him. So Johnson with a walk. Now McCreggor has to pitch to Joe Charbonneau, hitting .348. Last time we saw him against the A's was not hitting it, and he has poured it on. 6 doubles, 9 homers, 24 runs batted, and hits lefties quite well. So this is a spot for him here, especially in a very comfy Memorial Stadium. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Charbonneau. And that's going to be a base hit center field. Johnson will hold that second. Not much speed there. Bunbury gets it back in. And the Tribe has 2 on and nobody out. Now here's Gary Alexander hitting .294. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. 2 on and nobody out. And that's a wild pitch. McCreggor throws it back to the backstop. Graham gets it. Johnson moves up to third, and Charbonneau moves up to second. So the Indians all got 2 on and nobody out. Graham sets the target now. McCreggor from the stretch. Orioles will play the infield back, looking to give up 1 run at worst cause. That's a ground ball to short. That's hit at Krenchicki. That could be trouble. That's a base hit. He's not going to be able to stop it. He knocks it down. Kelly has to come in and picks it up. 1 run will score, and the game is tied at 1. Krenchicki got a glove on it, but it barely got into the outfield, allowed the run to score. Charbonneau, with only no outs, stayed at third, and the Indians tie this game at 1. So now here's Rick Manning. Just got back in this lineup. Was not in the lineup in the A's series. Hitting 190, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Rick Manning. And that's a ground ball to short again. The Wayne Krenchicki. Does he make the play this time? He does. But I believe the run will score. The infield is back. He throws out the first, and Charbonneau will score. So the Indians now lead it 2-1. So Krenchicki had a play, but the only play he had was the first. And Alexander will move up to second now with 1 out. And here's Dave Rosello hitting .333, 1 for 3. Not many at bats. Just kind of getting started in his year. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Rosello. And that will be a base hit left field. Alexander will hold at third. And the Indians keep pouring it on. Now here is Tom Verizon. Looks like Dwayne Kuiper not in this lineup for the Indians. On the Indian bench right now is Austin Diaz. Miguel Delaney, a great year. Wish he wasn't there, but he plays probably mostly against righties. He's having a good year right now, 67 at bats, hitting .388. Dubzinski, Hasse, Kuiper on the bench, and then you got Ron Pruitt. So now here's Verizon, first and third. Orioles will play the corners and will try to stop one of these runs from scoring. Verizon, light hitter, .242, 1 home run, 8 ribbies. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball right field. That should score a run. Singleton's got it. He'll throw in. Not in time. Cut off. And the Indians have taken a 3-1 lead. So the Tribe have taken a quick 3-1 lead here in the second. Here's George Orta. Runner on first and 2 outs. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a ground ball the second. That's it at Sakata. Does he make the play? Yes, he does. The side retired. But Cleveland scores 3 in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Cleveland 3 and the Orioles 1. 3-1, bottom of the second here in Memorial Stadium. Here is Pat Kelly, followed by Lee May and Lenny Sakata, bottom of the second here. Alexander puts down the sign. Len Barker with the lineup and the pitch. And that is going to be a walk to Pat Kelly. He's hitting .255 during the year. And now here is Lee May. Boys, he had a slumping start, 170, 1 home run, 9 RBIs. They wonder if his age has maybe caught up with him a little bit. Alexander puts down the sign now. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch, and there goes Pat Kelly. He's safe at second. So +9 at Barker makes Kelly a running possibility. Kelly steals second stolen the base for the Birds, and the Orioles trying to fight their way back in this. So Barker working from the stretch. Lee May back out on the box. Here's the pitch. And that will be a line drive caught by Verizon. Kelly had a hold. So 1 away. And here's Len Sakata hitting .400. He's 2 for 5. Home run. Only home run he had during the year. 2 runs batted in. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And Kelly was trying to get a good lead off second. He's dancing around out there. Barker looks in from the stretch, trying to get him kind of unmoving here. Here's the pitch. Ground ball the second. Hit at Rosello. That's a tough play for Rosello. He's not going to get it. It's a base hit. He hit it hard. Rosello cannot get it. Kelly around third will score, and it's a 3-2 ball game. RBI Len Sakata. So now this ball game looking like a pinball game. 3-2 Cleveland in the second. And here is Rich Dower hitting .205. 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker now from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And Sakata goes into second base. Holy cow, is that the third stolen base? Did they give that a stolen base to Sakata? Let's find out in our statistics thing. Yes, they did. Stolen base for Sakata. They're running on at will on Len Barker so far. Alexander puts down the target. Barker struggling a little bit. Here's the pitch, and he's going to go for third, and this time he's thrown out. This time Gary Alexander had a good throw. Barker with a sidestep gave Alexander some time and threw him out as Hera. applied the tag easy. So the running Orioles in this case are just got thrown in third with less than 2 outs. And that is something that will not make Earl Weaver happy. Or this actually is Weaver in 80. That probably would be, or it's either Weaver or it's Abatelli. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the windup is probably Weaver from 80. And the pitch is a fly ball right field. Orta is a 3-7. Does he get it? Yes, he does, to retire the side. But the Orioles score they score one of their own. They're building a picket fence. We go to the third. It's Cleveland 3 and Baltimore 2. So here's Hara, followed by Hargrove and Cliff Johnson against Scott McCreggor. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor with the windup and the pitch to Hara. And that's a walk to Hara as McGregor's control has not been pinpoint. And now here's Hargrove. He struck out his first time up. Usually doesn't do that. He's only struck out 7 times on the season, 153 at bats. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Hara at first. Let's see if they run on McCreggor. And they were trying to. So again, but McCreggor able to throw one back and keep him close. McCreggor looks over. Here's the pitch to Hargrove. And Hargrove ground ball to first. Murray will turn around, go to short. Good play. Krenchicki could get the ball out of the glove, and they'll get the force. So Hargrove will be on at first with 1 out. Here's Cliff Johnson. Johnson swing. Johnson, a right-handed hitter. He so far has walked his first time up, been around everywhere. Toronto, the Yankees. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Big Keith Cliff Johnson. 6'8" base hit Cliff Johnson. So that gets Hargrove the third, and it's first and third Indians. So the Indians continue to chug along. Base hit number 4 for Cleveland, and here's Joe Charbonneau. Singled his first time up. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch looking in to Charbonneau. 4-8 a base hit for Charbonneau. Jesus, that is going to go all the way to the wall. Clears the bases. That'll be a triple for Charbonneau. Scoring 2, and the Indians lead it 5-2. So Scott McCreggor is just having a problem out there finding location, and the Indians are jumping all over him. Brandon Schutz, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if you're a subscriber, but I do thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and watching game 1988 replay, playing the Monday Night Baseball, Cleveland and Baltimore, since they're both teams fighting so far for the division late May near Memorial Day in May. And here's Gary Alexander, runner on third and 1 out, and McCreggor is struggling. He could come out this game, and I don't think Earl Weaver has a lot of patience in his starters. Graham puts down the sign. Getting the bullpen is getting loose for him. Here's the pitch from McCreggor. Stays in the game, and that's a catch X. Let's see what happens. Does he get the run in? That's a pass ball or pop up. He's a 4-8, and that is going to be makes the catch. Holy cow! So 2 outs. So Graham makes the play. Charbonneau holds, and now here's Rick Manning. So McCreggor trying to survive this third inning. The Oriole bullpen, if they're getting loose right now, I'm guessing, Paul Hartzell's on this bench, is a 9L. So I hope we don't see him. Stoddard is the closer here. Sammy Stewart has 119 innings. He's someone you would see. Dennis Martinez could be a possibility. Only 100 innings in 80, so he could be a long reliever. And Dan Ford. They got a couple options. I'm sure Weaver has them both up. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor from the stretch to Rick Manning, and it's caught by Sakata to retire the side. 2 more for Cleveland. Go to the bottom of the third. It's 5-2 Indians. So Cleveland trying to get something going here. And now here's Al Bunbury, followed by Krenchicki and Singleton, bottom of the third. 5-2 Cleveland. Alexander puts down the sign. Len Barker staying in there. Hasn't been much more effective so far. Here's the pitch to Al, and Al ground ball to short. Verizon will get Bunbury off the bases and throws him out for 1 quick out. Here's Krenchicki, struck out his first time up. Alexander puts down the target. Barker with the windup and pitch to Krenchicki, and that's a fly ball center field. That will be Rick Manning. Does he come in on it? Yes, he does. Good catch by Manning. 2-5 out there. And he's always been at least a 1 or 2 fielder when I've seen him play. Here's Singleton. He's 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up. Barker getting a 1-2-3 inning here would be what the doctor would order. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the windup, and here's the pitch. That's a line drive caught by Rosello to retire the side. Baltimore goes down 1-2-3. We head to the fourth. It's 5-2 Cleveland. So now it's Rosello, Verizon, and Orta. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor staying in there. Here's the pitch to Dave Rosello. And Rosello with a base hit. That will go all the way to the wall. Kelly will play the hop. Rosello will stand at second, and Cleveland continues to mash. Here in the fourth inning, it's 5-2 Cleveland. Here's Verizon. Again, 6 run. I think McCreggor will be safe on the fatigue right now. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Verizon. And that's a ground ball to short. Krinchicki will look back. Rosello throw a strike to Murray. And there's one away. And here's George Orta be short. 0 for 2. Flight out and ground out. Getting his third at bat by the fourth inning. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be a bait. Oh, what a play by Murray. MVP play by Murray. You'll see that on This Week in Baseball. How about that? Take it to the bag and make the play. What a play by Eddie. That's why he's a 1E10. He makes an absolutely wonderful play. 2 outs in the fourth for Hara. Hara is 0 for 1. He does not hit in the clutch. He loses 1 on a 3-9. So kind of will be the same one way or the other. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Runner on third. 2 out. Big pitch from McCreggor. Does he stay in the game? It's hit at Krinchicki. 4E22. Makes the play. Yes, he does. So Krinchicki finally fields one. Throws about the Murray to retire the fourth inning. It's 5-2 Cleveland. We head to the bottom of the fourth. So bottom of the fourth here at Memorial Stadium. Orioles trying to fight back. Murray 1 for 1. RBI single his first time up. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker to stay in. Here's the pitch to Murray. And that'll be a ground ball the first. That will be Murray. Hargrove, 2E10. Hargrove off the arm will not make the play. He'll field it, but Murray will get to the bag. And that's an E3. So an error on the Indians. And you can't have that happen. Now here's Dan Graham. Like we said, he's having an unbelievable 47 at bat so far with 8 home runs. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And Murray was trying to run on Barker's +9. So Alexander puts down the target. Barker from the stretch. So here's the pitch to Eddie. And that will be a strikeout out. Big strikeout for Barker in the fourth. Here's Pat Kelly. He walked, stole second, then got caught stealing third base. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. A side step. Here's the pitch. And that will be a ground ball to short. That's Verizon, 3E23. He makes the play. Oh, no, he doesn't. It's off Verizon's glove. He thought he had it. He picked it up and it popped right out of the glove. And the 2 big errors in his ball game on the Indians. That's what will stop the Indians from contending, are these kind of mistakes. 2 on, 1 out. And here is Lee May. So now Lee May comes up. Like we talked about, his age kind of coming to the head. He's not hitting. 169, only has a home run. He's limited this year to about 200 plus at bat. This will be a time Lee May could show Earl that he still has some power. Alexander puts down the target. Barker from the stretch. He's getting betrayed by his defense. Here's the pitch to May, and that is going to be another ground ball to short. Let's see if Verizon up with this one. Ground ball in the hole. He's going to turn 2. He's going to go to Rosello to Hargrove. Turns the double play. How about that? 6-4-3. So Verizon turns the double play. We head to the fifth. It's 5-2 Indians. 5-2 Indians, top of the fifth inning. And it'll be Hargrove, followed by Johnson and Charbonneau. So Graham puts down the target. McCreggor with a windup and pitch to Hargrove. And that's a fly ball center field. Bunbury is coming in, makes the catch. That's 1 out in the fifth. Here's Big Heathcliff Johnson, 1 for 1, 2 runs scored so far. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor with a windup and pitch to Cliff. And that'll be a walk to Cliff Johnson. So he's on at first with 1 out. So Charbonneau, 2 for 2, tripled in 2 runs his last time up. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And now go back to the screen. Graham cannot get it. He cannot corral it. Cliff Johnson lumbers down the second. He's on at second with one man out. So the Orioles not getting any help so far. I believe that is a wild pitch and a pass ball today. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor working from the stretch still. Little sidestep to Charbonneau here. Here's the pitch. That's a base hit to center field. That's 3 hits. Here comes the play at the plate. Johnson will score. Oh, they tried to send him on a 1-9, and the Indians now lead it 6-2. So Scott McCreggor kind of getting pinged along here, and Earl Weaver cannot believe what he has seen so far, as he is struggling mightily right now. And now here's Gary Alexander. So that's a 3rd run score today for Big Heathcliff. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Gary Alexander. And that's a struck him out off speed pitch. So big 2 outs. Here's Manning 0 for 2 with an RBI. McCreggor hanging in there. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Lefty matchup. And that is a line drive. That is going to be caught. That was actually a ballpark home run chance. Singleton with the catch. Retires aside. Cleveland adds 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-2 Cleveland. Bottom of the 5th. Monday Night Baseball 1980 replay. Again, we try to take turns off the Oakland A's and try to play the best 1980 baseball to kind of give you guys an idea what's going on inside the divisions. And this is a good game to play. Both teams well over 500 around Memorial Day, and that's when you want to see where teams are planning are playing around. We'll look at the standings after this game, kind of give you an idea how where everyone's at. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Sakata, and that's going to be a strike him out. Barker with the big K on Len Sakata. Here's Rich Dower. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with a big wind-up and pitch to Dower, and that'll be a struck him out. Barker with 2. He had 187 Ks. 246 innings, including a perfect game in 80. Alexander puts down the target. Barker with the windup. Here's the pitch to Bunbury, and that's a walk. Now I want to know: has he pitched his perfect game yet? So let's see. Let's ask Google. When was Len Barker? No, Barker. I was hoping it would tell me right off the bat. And let's see. Len Barker's perfect game was officially May 15th. So let's see how he did in his perfect game. Remember when he pitched against the A's? I should have had him start. And, they see that's weird. His start would have been on the 15th. Tell me he did not go 2/3 of an inning, giving up 6 hits and 5 runs, and he was already out of that game. Weird. Okay, so it's 80. So it was Barker's perfect game was an 81, the strike shortened season. Okay, that makes sense. My fault. So Chris 0 for 2 with 2 outs. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch, and Bunbury gets back. He was trying to get a jump. So Barker has to keep Bunbury close. Barker's going to have to work again from that little sidestep. Here's the pitch to Krinchicki. And that is a pop line drive. Hara makes the play, and that will end the 5th inning. We're halfway through, and we're official in Baltimore. Cleveland 6, Baltimore 2. So top 6, 6-7-2 for Cleveland, 2-3-0 for the Birds. Top of the 6th here, based 1980 Stratomatic replay. Again, this is Monday Night Baseball game of the week. So now let's go ahead and swing for the fences. It'll be Rosello, who's 2 for 2, followed by Verizon and Orta. Graham puts down the target. McCreggor with the windup. Here's the pitch to Rosello, and that's a fly ball right field. Singleton in, puts a glove up, makes the catch, and there's easy 1 out. Here's Verizon. He's 0 for 1. He has a sac fly and a ground out. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor looks in. From the windup, here's the pitch to Verizon. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. That's Krinchicki. He's been an adventure today. He's got it. Throws him out with the big play. 2 good plays in a row for Krinchicki. Error's not going to hurt as much, but the 4 fielding rating has cost him a couple hits. Here's Orta. He's 0 for 3. But then this was an Earl Weaver lineup for here on this date. You put a bad fielder out there. It's kind of what happens. You don't want a Belanger out there who can probably give you a 1 or 2 defense, but no hit. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor looks in. Here's the pitch to George Orta. And Orta, single center field. So Orta's 1 for 4, his first hit of the game. And now we'll see what Toby Harrah can do. He walked back in the third. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor working from the stretch. Runner on first, 2 outs. Pitch to Harrah. And that's a fly ball center field. That is Bunbury. 2-5 comes in, puts the glove up, makes the catch, and the Indians are down in the 6th. Bottom of 6 coming up. It's 6-2 Cleveland. To the Orioles, half of the 6th inning. So the Orioles will now come up here, down by a few, down by 4, and it'll be Singleton, Murray, and Graham against Barker. So Alexander puts down the target. Barker with the windup. Here's the pitch to Singleton. And that's a strikeout for Barker, his 6th of the ball game. What a ball game for Len Barker. He's kind of coming to his own so far. Again, a couple of bad starts, but obviously he must have had some good starts. His ERA to be at 3.84. He won the first 3 starts of the year, giving up 3 earned runs, then gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits on the 22nd of April. Then he lost. Then he won again, another complete game. He has had so far 2 complete games. And that other game he pitched, he gave up 7 hits and 1 run and 1. So when he's been going the distance, he's been solid. In 8 innings, he gave up 4 hits in another game and he won. So again, last 2 starts has not been so good, as he's kind of struggling a bit. He gave up 10 earned runs and 5 2/3 in his last start. So he kind of got really big. His ERA definitely took a hit for the worse in the last 2 starts. Alexander on the sign. Barker from the windup. Here's the pitch to Eddie Murray. And that's a walk. Again, Barker sometimes had some control. 92 walks will do that. First runner on first, 1 out for the Babe Ruth. Dan Graham. 396, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs. He had 15 home runs in 268 at bats. So yeah, I guess the strike card would show some kind of power in that with the 1.619 rolls. And if you play at a favorable ballpark, you're definitely going to get such numbers. So Graham steps in. Alexander from the stretch, Barker from the stretch, and Murray again was going to try to run. So Murray trying to get the run on Barker. Barker again working for that sidestep. We'll have to keep Murray close. Here's the pitch to Graham. And that is going to be a 5-ball center field, not deep. Manning will back up, make the catch, and there's 2 outs in the 6th. And here's the veteran, Pat Kelly. He walked his first time up and reached on an error. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. Pitch to Kelly. It's a single to left field. Murray will stop at second, and the Orioles have something going with 2 outs. And again, it's Lee Mays coming up. Boys, he struggled with men on base. And yes, they're talking about does his bat still catch up with the fastball? So a 2 on and 2 out. Lee May trying to prove the critics wrong. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. 2 on, 2 out. Pitch to Lee May, and that's a fly ball right field. Orta is there, makes the catch, and Lee May has stranded 2 more. Boy, he has definitely stranded a ton of people out there. Let's see if we can. Runners left in scoring position. Lee May, we'll have to see when that will update itself. The Orioles right now are 2 for 7 with runners left in scoring position. The Orioles have left 5 total. So we go now to the top of the 7th. Cleveland leads this game by the score of 6-2 as they're trying to get a big win here in the AL East. And now here is Mike Hargrove hitting 368. He's 0 for 3 today. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor is still out there. Here's the pitch to Hargrove. And that will be a ground ball the second. That's Sakata. He'll see the ball in the glove. He does. Throws him out, 1 away. Good play by Len Sakata. 1 out to start the 7th. Cliff Johnson's had an interesting game. 1 for 1, 2 walks, and he scored every time he's been on base. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor with the windup. Here's the pitch to Big Heathcliff. And that's a walk to Heathcliff. Let's see if he scores again. That's the 3rd walk of the game for Heathcliff. And now here's Charbonneau, 3 for 3, 2 hits and a triple. He's drove it in 3 of the Indians' 6 runs. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Charbonneau. And Charbonneau hits a drive to right center field. This ball is deep. This far is gone. And it's gone. Now Joe Charbonneau, a double from the cycle. as he hits a 2-run homer. So Charbonneau will score. He'll touch home plate. And the Indians now lead it. They're pouring it on. It's 8-2 Indians. Here is Gary Alexander. That's almost got to be it for McCreggor. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor looks in. Here's the pitch to Alexander. And Alexander line drive at Krinchicki for the second out. So Graham pats the glove, puts down the sign. McCreggor looks in. Lefty matchup. And the pitch. And that is going to be a ground ball back to McCreggor. He's got it. Turns, throws a strike. And that retires the side. Cleveland scores 2 in the 7th. Charbonneau hits a home run. Wait for some special stuff going on. Charbonneau's a double from the cycle. He may get another at bat. It's 8-2 Cleveland going to the bottom of the 7th inning. So Cleveland really showing some muscle here at Memorial Stadium. Now here's Sakata, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker now with a 6-run lead. And that will bring in Terry Crowley. So we'll start bringing the pinch hitters in. So Crowley hitting .432, always one of the more prominent pinch hitters. And 44 at bats, 3 doubles, a triple, and he's got 6 home runs. So he's definitely taking advantage of some power here. Alexander sets, puts its target. Barker with the windup. Here's the pitch. And struck him out. Lynn Barker just fooled Crowley there with that slider. And that will be 7 strikeouts for Barker. So that is 7 strikeouts here in 1 out in the 7th. Here's Dower. Alexander sets the target. Barker with the pitch. And that will be ground ball to third. Harris got it. Scoops, throws him out long way across the first. 2 outs in the 7th. Here's Bunbury. 1 for 2. A single and a walk so far. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the windup. Here's the pitch to Bunbury. And Bunbury with the line drive base hit. That's base hit number 5 for the Orioles. Now here's Wayne Krinchicki down by 6. Tells you probably Bunbury does not have the green light from Earl Weaver. If he gets thrown out, he might as well keep running. He might as well keep running down to the nation's capital. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. And Bunbury was trying to get the lead. Oh, Weaver, you can see, not happy about that. Barker picks him off. Bunbury will be lucky to be on the roster tomorrow morning. Alexander sets. Barker from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Rosello's a 4-18. Got to run this out. It's a base hit. It's off his glove. Krinchicki will get a hit. Bunbury will go all the way to third. And the Orioles now have something going here. They got some life. And here's Ken Singleton. He's going to have to be a big producer here. He struck out twice against Barker so far. 2 outs in the 7th. Alexander sets the target. Barker from the stretch. I don't think he is an 8 either, so he may be on his end of his fatigue. If he is, he's a 7, so another hit fatigue him. Barker works from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Singleton, and that's going to be a strikeout for Barker. 3 strikeouts on Singleton, retires the 7th inning. We go to the 8th. It's 8-2 Cleveland. Now it looks like they made some changes. Mark Belanger comes into play short. Rich Dower will come into play third, and Wayne Krinchicki will go and play second. So they made some moves. So Sakata got pinch hit for, and they made some moves in the infield. I don't know if that's going to help. I mean, still got a 4-20 at second, but it's better, I guess. We'll go to the 8th. 8-2 Cleveland. You never want to play a 4 in the infield anywhere. So here is 2 for 3 at the double. McCreggor still out there. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor with the pitch to Rosello. And that will be a base hit. So that is base hit number 10 for the Tribe. And here's Verizon now. Graham puts down the sign. McCreggor from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a struck. And Orta 1 for 4. He singled back in the 6th. Graham sets. McCreggor looking in, nods. And here's the pitch from Scott McCreggor. And that's a fly ball center field. He may have swung that ball for. He had a good pitch to swing at. Bunbury makes the catch, and there's 2 away. Here's Hara. He's 0 for 3. He walked back in the 3rd. Graham sets, puts down the sign. McCreggor working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Hara. And that will be a walk to Hara, and that could be McCreggor's tired. So McCreggor is tired. First and second. So first and second. Now we'll probably get a new pitcher. Weaver about to call timeout. Here's Hargrove. First and second, 2 outs. And yep, here comes. We're going to go with Tippy Dennis. They go to Dennis Martinez. So that's kind of a weird call. Usually should go to your short guy, but maybe Weaver thinks they're not getting back in this game. They'll bring in somebody else. So Dennis Martinez will come in and pitch to Hargrove. Dennis, 2-2, 4.68 ERA, 28 hits, 25 innings. Graham puts down the sign. Martinez from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Hargrove. And Hargrove with a base hit. That will load the bases. Runners cannot score. Rosello will stop at third. Bunbury gets it back in. And the Indians have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And it comes up to Cliff Johnson's turn. Cliff Johnson, normally a bomber against lefty pitching, has a ton of power actually versus righties here. He only had 3 home runs on the year, but you get the feeling with that one column with a ton of ballpark shots, he could reach one. So McCreggor's really got to be careful here. Graham sets the target. Martinez from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a struck him out. Dennis Martinez maybe made his best pitch of the year. Strands the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cleveland 8, Baltimore 2. So 8-2, favor of the Tribe. We go to the bottom of the 8th. So now here's Eddie Murray. Murray, Graham, and Kelly to bat. Alexander sets the target. Barker looks in and the pitch. And that will be a ground ball to second. Rosello's got it. Easy play to Hargrove. And there's play. Graham 0 for 3. Alexander sets the target. Barker with a big windup to Graham. And that's a strikeout for Barker, his 9th of the ball game. So when Barker with 9 strikeouts, let's take a look again at some of Barker's numbers for the season. And let's see if he's had in one of those games. He has never struck out as many. He struck out 5 in the second game of the season. He's never struck out this many. So this is his season high. Pat Kelly, left-handed hitter. Alexander sets the target. Barker with the windup to Pat Kelly. And that's going to be a ground ball to first. Hargrove takes to the bag, and we head to the 9th. Cleveland 8 and Baltimore 2. So here's Charbonneau. We asked people to stick around because of this. Charbonneau single back in the second, triple back in the third. That's always your tough one. Single back in the 5th, and then hit a bomb for 2 ribbies back in the 7th. So Charbonneau's 4 for 4, 5 RBIs, and he hit 17 doubles on the season. So something tells me he has something on the card. 2 5s a double, 1 to 11. Or he's a home run double on the 8. So he has a couple options. And then against Dennis Martinez here in the 9th inning, Martinez on a very friendly 5-7 rolls as a 50% double. And also has a double chaser on the home run on the 9. So Charbonneau has 4 chances to possibly hit the illustrious cycle here on Monday Night Baseball. Graham puts down the sign. Martinez looks in. Here's the pitch to Charbonneau. And Charbonneau hits a drive to left center field. He says, who needs a cycle? It is gone. Charbonneau, his 2nd home run of the game, his 6th run batted in. He has 2 homers, 2 singles, and now a triple. And another 4 bases for Charbonneau. You're seeing why this guy is going to be in the 1980 Rookie of the Year, 9-2 Cleveland. So now here's Gary Alexander. Graham sets the target. Martinez with the pitch. And there's a drive to left center field. That's trouble. Back goes Kelly. Way back and out of here. Gary Alexander, the Indians scalp. They go back to back, belly to belly, as Gary Alexander scores. And the Indians make it a 10-2 ball game. So here is Rick Manning. This had nothing to do with Dennis Martinez. Their Indians are finding power on their own cards. Graham sets the target. Graham with the windup. Get the windup here. And that's a ground ball to short. Belanger's the new shortstop. He's a 2 and makes the play. That was Krinchicki. That's a base hit. So Belanger stops it. Throws him out for the first down in the 9th. And here's Rosello. 3-4 in the ball game for Dave. He's being overlooked for MVP. As Charbonneau has 5 hits. Graham puts down the sign. Martinez with the pitch to Rosello. And Rosello, a base hit for Rosello. He's 4 for 5. He wants to be considered MVP. So here's Verizon 0 for 3 at Ribby. 14 hits for Cleveland, 5 for Charbonneau, and 4 for Rosello. Graham sets. Martinez from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a ground ball to short. Let's see if Belanger can turn one of his textbook double plays. No, it's a base hit. How about that? Even bring Belanger in, and Belanger cannot get it. So it is past his glove. Rosello will stop at second. Bunbury gets it back in, and Cleveland keeps the inning going. It's first and second. All of a sudden, Joe Charbonneau is appearing in this lineup again. He's fifth, coming up possibly to bat around. There's one out here in the ninth. Here's Orta. He's 1 for 5. What does Weaver do? Graham sets the target. Dennis Martinez from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Orta. And Orta does not keep the inning alive. Murray gets a fielder's choice. Rosello moves to third. Now Cleveland down to their last out here in the ninth inning. And here's Toby Harrah, 0 for 3, 2 walks so far. Walk back in the third in the eighth inning. Cleveland leads 10-2. Out hitting Baltimore 15-6. Graham puts down the sign. Martinez working from the stretch. First and third, 2 outs. Pitch to Harrah, and that will be a pop-up to short. This inning will be over. Cleveland will score 2. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's Cleveland 10 and Baltimore 2. A 5 for 5 performance for Joe Charbonneau. So we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and it will be May, followed by Belanger and Dower against Len Barker, trying to complete what he started. This will be his third complete game. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the windup. Pitch to May. And that is a line drive caught by Verizon for out number 1. Here is Belanger, first at bat of the game. Came in hitting .277, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the windup, and they're going to bring in Rick Dempsey. So they'll bat for Belanger again. Not sure who they'll put at shortstop, or they're going to have to put some different guys in. But Dempsey will swing. He's hitting .276, 2 homers, 15 ribbies. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker with the windup. The pitch to Rick Dempsey. And Dempsey again, base hit up the middle. He gets it on a 1-3. So base hit number 7. The Orioles keep the inning alive. And here's Rich Dower. He's 0 for 3. He moved over to third base. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Dower. And Dower, ground ball back to Barker. He'll go to short, gets the easy fielder's choice, I guess. And Dower will beat the relay. Now there's 2 outs. Last call for the Orioles. And it's Al Bunbury. He's 2 for 3, single back in the first and 7th. So Bunbury getting his 5th at bat here. That tells you they at least getting swings, but the Orioles are getting manhandled here by the Tribe. Cleveland 10-15-2. The Orioles 2-7-0. Alexander puts down the sign. Barker from the stretch. Is this last call for the Orioles? And yes, it is. Fly ball left field. Charbonneau is there. And this ball game is over as over. Boy, the Indians dominate Baltimore here, and they get a big win in the division. They're now 25-14. The Orioles are 25-17, so 3 less in the loss column. Indians 10-15-2. Orioles 2-7-0. Barker goes 9, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Gets complete. McCreggor 2-4, 7 2/3, 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Didn't have it. Dennis Martinez went an inning in third, 5 hits, 2 runs, gave up the blow to Charbonneau, 1 strikeout and 1 home run, 2 home runs, back-to-back jacks for Cleveland. Home runs in the ball game. Charbonneau with 2. Gary Alexander hits 1. That was Charbonneau's 10th and 11th on the year. Charbonneau MVP, 5 for 5. 3 runs scored, 6 RBIs. 2 home runs, missed a double by the Psycho and ends up hitting his 2nd home run. 6 ribs for Joe Charbonneau. That's 30 ribbies going to the month of June. So now the Indians win this. That is a big win for them. Of course, you know your Oakland Athletics are going to begin a series with the Kansas City Royals. That will be the next game on the 1980 campaign. Hopefully we'll have that at some point. And when life catches back up, we gets things going here. We'll go ahead and get more in. Go soon into the month of June, as the A's will start a very important series with, again, the Royals. Like we said, the Royals come to town, and here are your updated standings. So far, the New York Yankees are 1 game ahead of Milwaukee, 3.5 on Cleveland, and 5 on the Orioles. The A's hold a 5-game lead with game series with the Royals. The Phillies hold a 2-game lead on the Pirates, 2 on the Cardinals, 6.5 on the Expos. Definitely playing well. They're only playing about 2 games below what they did in real life. The Astros are 26-14. They're 4 ahead in real life, and they lead the Padres by 5, Reds by 8, Dodgers by 8. So hopefully the NL West gets a little closer. The Astros through 40 games, so they're a quarter way through the quarter hole, as they say in horse racing, 5 games up on the division. If you're wondering who's not and who is in baseball, the major league's leading hitter is Gary Templeton for the Cardinals, hitting .418. Carew leads the American League with a .408 average. Then it's Boa, Cooper, Griffey, Charbonneau, who we just saw, is now 6th. Simmons, Parrish, Hargrove, Cruz, Brett hitting .364 on a .390 year. And Roy Howell, home run leader. Reggie Jackson has 13 through almost the month of May. Luzinski 13, Perez 13, Oakley 12, Charbonneau 11, Schmidt 11, Cooper 10, Revering has 10 for our A's, and Bench has 10. RBIs, Al Oliver, who we've seen a few times in the replay, 37 ribbies, leads the American League. Tony Perez has 35 for the Red Sox. Cooper has 34. Lance Parrish has 32. Ben Oakley has 32. Looking for a National Leaguer. Wow. Jerry Martin leads the National League with RBIs with 30. Then it's Jose Cruz with 30. And those are your 2 leaders in the National League. So let's see what we can do here. I'm sure I was always wondering. That's why I'm taking the A's on the replay, because they're always probably some of the best teams. So let's see. Do we have an Oakland pitcher? Keogh has 6 wins, so he's my leader. He's my leader there. Winning percentage, there's not a yes. Steve McCatty's at an .833 winning percentage. ERAs, let's see. The Oakland doesn't. Oakland, after a couple bad starts from their starters, do not have a starter in the Dave Palmer for the Expos is at 1.51. Steve Carlton is the last on the list at 2.21. And I don't have any A's in there. So that's kind of weird. Now, you would think the A's would have top-notch starters. Matt Keogh has 76 innings. That's it. That means I'm probably not playing typical Billy Martin baseball, letting his starters go 9, but I'm playing as I can as a real-life manager. So you have your stats, you have your standings. Your next game you'll see will be the A's and the Royals. Hopefully we'll get that in at some point, people. Thank you for coming in. This has been the Sports Time Machine for it. This is Stratomatic's Monday Night Baseball. Cleveland scalps the Orioles by the score of 10-2. As we'll see more baseball coming up. Dwayne Martz, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. This was the Indians and Orioles, Stratomatic. Hopefully at some point we'll get the A's and Royals in. So talk to you later, folks. Have a good night. Thank you, Dwayne, Brandon Schutz, whoever you are. Thank you for coming also.